able to move forward. So yeah, I mean, I just like, I want to encourage everyone, I want to encourage everyone that we really look into our mental state, before you quit the thing that you started already, before you quit. What's up everyone? Hope you're good. We're good. We don't have a lot of lights here, but yeah, we're gonna continue. So it's Lindo with the Super here. I'm back again with another one. Um, last time, the last video that we did, we were exploring the the, the 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 few days, or just we were like exploring the stats, the stats of doing something, whether you're going into, into entrepreneurship, or whether you're going into being a creative entrepreneurship, we were just exploring that, and just like, those moments when you dive in without knowing a lot of things, but with hope of figuring things out, right? That's what we were talking about last time. Now I'm back with this video. On this video, I want us to speak about the mental states. I want us to speak about the mental states that you want to be in. If you're gonna say, what, I'm not gonna be making any CVs. I'm not gonna be looking for any job. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start my own thing. I'm gonna start my business. Whether I'm offering products or service, or I'm gonna go into the creative space, which again, you say that you're offering products or services, but I in my mind, like, I know how to separate these things. I don't know if you can understand that, on how an entrepreneur maybe was like getting into, I don't know, opening a store, or maybe trying to, you know, I don't know, like, any business. This is not like creativity intense, maybe just like as in like the musician, the painter, the writer, the poet, the the filmmaker, those are also businesses, but they are like, they are creativity based. Without any creativity, without any creative juices flowing, you don't have a product. Unlike someone who just have to go and order something, or manufacture something and then sell that, right? And maybe the creativity will be, just how they are going to differentiate themselves within the market. So that's how, when I speak about these two, individuals, that's how I, like, kind of like differentiate. Because one might say, why do you differentiate? Because this one has a product, has a service, and this one also can have a product and also can, have a service that they are rendering. So yeah, but our main focus and our topic is the mental state that you want to be in, or the mental state that you might find yourself in, that might like prompt you to try and change that. So we all know that for you to go into business, you need to be in good mental state, right? Maybe I won't say great, but you need to be in good mental state. Maybe great, but definitely you need to be in good mental state, because you need your brain, you need your emotions to be stabilized. You need physically, you need to be in good shape, in good health, but I think with everything, it starts in your mind. So when you are in a good mental state, you are able to think, you are able to execute, you are able to dedicate those long hours that you need to get things done. So it happens, in most cases it happens that you find yourself in a position that's okay. You do decide to dive into something, and start building, but then, as you get into it, you realize that things seems to be hard. They seems to be really challenging. They seems to be confusing. They seems to, the task that you begin, you seems to have a problem finishing them. The communications that you need to build, you just like, you have this anxiety living inside of you. You have this constant anxiety that's, and you're not doing things in the right way. Every day you wake up with this thing that your whole body is just like this thing is giving you a hard time, and when you think about it, when you think about your idea, when you think about, just like where you wanna go, that is clear. But the process of getting there, and maneuvering, that process, it's challenging. Now, if you are someone maybe who is dealing with HDA, HDAD, maybe you are dealing with PTSD, maybe you are dealing with depression, maybe you are dealing with some kind of traumas, maybe that you are not aware of, or maybe that you like trying to put behind you without really dealing with those things, you might find yourself, struggling to build. You might find yourself struggling to build because you addressing that that issue, that's depression issue, addressing that, HDHD issue, the PTSD issue might be the only thing that you have to do so that you are able to, to move smooth, with the process of building what you're building. But if you are not aware, of that, that might cause you to even, think that you are not capable of building what you were trying to build. Granted, that's not the case. You are capable. It's just that you have this mental, illness that you need to attend to. So to everyone that is building out there, and you find yourself, struggling. You find yourself not being able to execute, the way you want, not being able to finish the work that you have to finish, not being able to maybe, like, push yourself to be out there and network, because also to be out there, to network, to talk to people, about your idea, that needs you to be, on the right, frequencies, and the right vibrations, with yourself. So when you don't have that, where are you going to get the confidence, to walk up to people and say, this is my name, this is what I do, and so to everyone out there, you really need to check your mental state, before you start any operation, before you dive into things. Do sit down and ask yourself, where am I at, mentally? Where am I at? And if you have to, see a therapist, if you have to see a psychologist, if you have to reach out or like do some inner work, it's I'll recommend it. I'll recommend it, because you do find people that, simple things like, doing your taxes, checking your compliances, that can be being having not having a good mental state, can make you, like, be a cause of you forgetting to do those things. Certain tasks that need you to focus, for long hours. You might find yourself struggling with that, to a point that you think you're not competent enough, only to find out that you are competent. It's just that you have something working against you, inside of you, in your mind, in your body. We have this thing working against you. So it's very important that you know where you are mentally. You know your mental state. If you are dealing something with something, if you're dealing with that depression, if you're dealing with that PTSD, if you're dealing with that, HDA, ADHD, at least when you are aware and when you know, you'll develop a system, around it. You will have the help that you need for you to be able to move forward. So yeah, I mean, I just like, I want to encourage everyone. I want to encourage everyone that we really look into our mental state. Before you quit that thing that you started already, before you quit that business that you started, before you quit that project you started, before you quit, being a creative, before you quit making your art, look at your mental state. Look at your mental state. Where are you in your, with your mental health? And should everything be fine with that? Should you find out there's no, like, my mental state is really, 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 like, I'm healthy, I'm in a good space, but I'm struggling with this thing, then maybe then you can decide to, give up on the thing so that you can move to the next one. But do not drop what you set out to do if you are struggling with it, without checking where you are with your mental state, because you might find that your mental state is the blockage, to the other side of things. So you fix that, you are able to move forward and achieve what you are trying to achieve. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. And I hope that, when you see this video, you take time to think about your mental state, and the things that you like, you need to fix within yourself before moving forward. Yeah, so that's it for today. Stay blessed.